it's about the birth order in a family and how it influences our life. As for oldest child in a family, first of all, he's alone, and parents put a lot of hopes, a lot of sometimes even pressure on him, on his life. Often you can meet them among, and it's interesting fact that most of presidents of the US were the oldest children in their family. Hello, my dear subscriber. My name is Elena. I am CEO of Prime Matchmaking company and dating expert and psychologist. While I was studying psychology, I met one very interesting topic, very interesting theme, and I started to investigate it deeper. And it's about the birth order in a family and how it influences our life, and especially our choice of a partner for lifelong relationships, of a spouse, of a husband or wife. And in this video I want to share with you my knowledge, plus of course I will share the resources, interesting useful books that I read about on this topic, and maybe you can get something useful of them for you too. At least I think that this is quite interesting. It helps in life, and that's why when I talk with clients, when I consult them, usually I ask if they have brothers or sisters and make some conclusions. Plus, when we match people, we also pay attention to this fact because it influences relationships a lot. So as usually before we start, I ask you to put like on this video if you really like it, and subscribe our channel if you are here first time. So let's start with the childhood of the oldest child, and what happens. From the very childhood we all learn to communicate with people in one or another way. And as for oldest child in a family, first of all, he's alone, and parents put a lot of hopes, a lot of sometimes even pressure on him, on his life. They plan everything for him. They expect very high results from him, and just the attitude of parents to him, it already requires a lot from him, many achievements and so on. And at the moment when there is a second or third child in the family, this oldest child feels being not the most important now, and the strategy of life can change. So this oldest child tries to get parents' attention and care by attracting more attention to him, by having high achievements and fulfilling their expectations about this child. So this type of behavior, this style of life, even it usually continues in our adult life. And there were research scientists, and they found out that usually in most of the cases the CEOs, owners of big companies, they are usually the oldest children in a family. And in most of the cases they are one or three children. On the second place in this research there are oldest successful children from families with two children. So it can make you think. So as we talk about the traits of character by these people, oldest children from the family, usually they are very responsible. They are loyal to their family traditions, to their family, to parents, and they usually even in school they can occupy very responsible positions, and the same happens in adult life too. So it's often you can meet them among top managers, among CEOs, presidents of companies, and so on. And it's interesting fact that most of presidents of the US were the oldest children in their families. If you want, you can research further and make sure yourself. Moreover, as I told you, I will give you the resources where I found this information, and you can read more. So this is about the character. And also it's worthy to mention that these people are leaders by their nature in most of the cases, but this leadership can be in different ways too, because some leaders, some oldest children, they are more aggressive, ambitious, leading, dominating, controlling a lot, and the other type of oldest children, usually it's about girls, yes, because our sexes also influence the situation. Very obedient, very trying to please other people, even having much patience, accepting not what they like, but trying not to make people disappointed. These are two types of oldest children. Of course, we can't. In this video, I tell you just general things, and we can't generalize for all people, because there are also many other factors influencing the situation, like their if in the family there were only boys or only girls, and what is the age difference between all sisters and brothers, and if the age difference between older and second child is more than 5 years, then it's considered the oldest child considered to be the only child in the family in psychology, and the second child can have traits of older child in the family too. So there are many different issues, and if we would analyze in details, we would pay more attention to these facts. But in general, it's like that, and when I talk with people, I observe my conclusions, and I can say you for sure that this approach works. It's like that, and can help you to understand people better. So as for professions, as you may understand, these oldest people from the family, they choose the responsible positions, controlling. They are good in managing teams, but mostly by their administrative abilities. And now there is the most interesting part for us, at least for me in my job when I work with clients. It's about the choice of right partner for you according to this theory. So it's considered by many researchers, many psychologists worked on it, and found out that the perfect variant of the marriages is between single child in a family plus younger daughter from a family. On the second place, there is the combination of older child, and if you was an older child, it's better for you to choose a younger woman who was younger sister in her family. And the third variant is a couple of match of child who was in the middle and the younger. So these are just recommendations. In real life you can face different situations, and of course I don't suggest you, when you know a girl, right away to ask her about her birth order and make conclusions for all of your relationships. But at least you could pay attention to this fact. Like when I talk with clients, when I give consultations, I always say that it's better to choose someone who is more close to you according to age, according to mentality, according to lifestyle, and so on. In the question of birth order, there is an advice to choose opposite position. So if you are the oldest, you choose the youngest, and so on. And these couples are considered to be more harmonious, more happy, and they have more long-lasting relationships. Because when you just date, it can be not so obvious, but when you start to live together, the leadership and quarrels about leadership, they can become more obvious. For example, if you were single child in the family and she was the oldest daughter in the family, or you were both the oldest in your family. So if you can eliminate risks and take into account this factor, the birth order, just think about it, and you can use it, and I will be happy if you write your comments under this video on this topic. I'm really curious to know how it works in your life. Does it really work or not? I would be really grateful to you if you share with me your stories, your life conclusions on this topic. And in my next videos I will tell you more about the youngest child in the family, the middle, and the single child in the family, how what traits of character they usually have, what professions are desirable for them and they usually choose them, and of course about the compatibility in a couple according to this factor. I hope you liked this video and that it was useful for you, and I wait for your questions and comments. Meanwhile, have a nice day, and see you soon in my new videos. Thank you for attention. Bye bye.